Alright, so this is where we stand. Let's see, let's take a look at the actual. What would be next would be the happy hour. I don't have time for that today, so let's do something different here. Let's knock out the slider. And with this I used Slick Carousel, which is, so you need React Slick and Slick Carousel. So what we'll do is come over here, go down to your terminals, hit Command C to stop it if yours is running, mine is not. And what we want to do is we want to do an npm install and just put a save on that, and we're going to do React Slick, and you want to do an @ you want the same version that I have, and that's going to be 0.25.2. and we also need React Carousel, and that's carousel, and that is going to be @ and that's 1.81.1, not 0.8.1, and just hit enter. That's going to put those into your node modules. And after that is complete, let's just fire our dev server back up, and that is going to be Gatsby develop. Okay, now we got that going, so let's go. You might have calendar page, I have events, and I did go and put these images that we're going to use in the repo. So if you go back, I think I put it in all the descriptions, so you can go back there. They weren't there originally, they are there now, so you should have these 4 images if you go grab it. If not, you can use whatever images you want. It's really not going to really matter too much. It's more just about doing it. If you've never used React Slick, really awesome. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? It's extremely simple. So, alright, let's get going here, because I got some shoveling to do. Alright, events. We'll call it slider.js. And normally we've been doing functional components. We're using a Slick Carousel, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to use a class component. So I'll just do RCE, and we're going to change this. If you don't have the extension for React snippets, you can grab it. Simple React snippets, or yes, it's going to be simple React snippets. If you don't have it, you can just copy this. I mean, it's not too much here, but I'm going to change this around a little bit because it's the older way to do it. It kind of bothers me. So we'll just go like this. We'll go React dot, and it's the ML component. We're going to call this event slider, which we already know because we just did it. Always name it the same as the file. Save yourself some trouble when you're trying to look for things. Alright. We can go over, I guess, well, what it is just a library for a carousel. Kind of almost think of a slider in Bootstrap or something along those lines. It's already pre-made. Why reinvent the wheel? It's a fantastic slider. You know, it's composable, so you can go in and dick around with the CSS if you don't like what comes with it, I guess out of the box you would call it. So what we want to do next here, let me just shut that off. Okay, well, we know we're going to want to style this locally, so what do? What we always do, import styled from style components. It's right there, so you just tab that over. Well, we're going to want to import slider, and that's from React Slick. Just tab that over. We're going to need the CSS. We're going to need the CSS from React Slick, and we're also going to need the from Slick Carousel, and we're also going to need the theme CSS from Slick Carousel. So what we want to do is import, and this is going to be Slick Carousel, and it's going to be in the folder Slick, and then that's going to be slick.css, and it's going to be the same thing underneath it, but it's going to also be this is going to be dash theme. Oh, and you do that every time you're using a Slick Carousel. Here, style. We might as well go down here and put our wrap in, because we know that's how we're going to do it, because that's what we do. Whenever we are using style components, we like to use the same convention. We might as well come down here and do our const, right? Const to wrap equals style.div. Put your backticks, go in, split them, give yourself some space. Okay, now, well, try to figure out the best way to do this for you here. Try to explain it. Well, we know we're going to want to put it inside of a div, right? So we might as well do a container. Tap it over, get that, and to make sure that it's always easier to use double divs as far as making things responsive. So we'll just call it a box. Tap that over. Okay, so now we got 2 containers, so it's a lot easier to keep it responsive, so we don't have to dick around with it. So, well, what are we putting in here? We're putting in the slider, right? It is a component that we're getting from React Slick. We imported it right here. So, and well, you don't know it yet, but I know it. We are going to spread. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let me do it this way here for you. Be a lot easier. All right. So we're going to render something. We're going to render a slider. Well, we're going to have some settings, so we might as well get those in there, and we'll just say equals, and we know. All right, and now it comes with various things. You can go over and you can take a look at the documentation for React Slick, but they're pretty much all the same thing. So we could put in, we'll do auto scroll, and well, we want that to be true. Actually, we're going to want arrows. You don't have to have arrows. You can do dots. They have a lot of different things, but I used arrows, so say that's going to be true. We want it infinite, so because we want it to keep going around. We don't want it to go to the end of the. We got 4 images. We don't want it to go to the end and it just stops. You could if you wanted, and then you would have to put previous and go back. But I'm not going to do it that way. I'd rather just kind of loop around and loop around and loop around. Then you have the speed of the transition. It's in milliseconds, so 500, about a half a second each one. And I guess the only other one we really need is autoplay. And that's not going to be camel case. So that's going to be camel case, and that will also be true. Okay. Those are technically, I guess, the props, you would say. In case we had something else. These are, I mean, there's a lot of different settings. But, I mean, you can think of these as a prop. I mean, we know what they are, right? They're key value pairs, you know, auto scroll true, blah, 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 blah. Well, here we're just going to spread all of those. We're going to use a spread operator to spread our settings, and that's not really how you spell settings, but that's all right. You guys, I'm sure you guys are all catching me. And there's our slider. Now, what are we doing with the slider? Well, I mean, the slider is done. Trust me on it. Well, we need our images, right? So, well, let's import our images that we're going to use. So, import. I'm going to call them 1, 2, 3, 4. So, image 1 from. Well, if you don't know where it is, you'll find them on the slider. And now, I guess it really doesn't matter which one we get. I got 2. How do I name them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, how's that? It's simple enough, right? Yeah, what are you doing? Get out of there. So we'll go 1.jpg. Oh, might as well just copy that 4 times. Shift Alt down key. I'll give you 4 of them. Just change those over. Well, we got a 2, 3, and 4. And over here, well, looks like the same thing. 2, 3. Oh no, one's a PNG. Jesus Christ, what's going on here? 4. Which one is it? 2. Alright, I got to switch my editor around. Things are popping up in front of my eyes. Okay, so now we have our images. So what do we want to do? We imported them. Well, like always, we're going to use them. So now we're going to load up our slider with images that we're going to use. So we'll go image. And source is what's it going to be? Well, first one's going to be image 1. Give it an alt. It doesn't really matter which. I'll just for now I'm just going to put party. I'll do it for all of them. Hell with it. This will help. Just going to copy that over 3 more times. Shift and alt down with the down arrow. Give you that. 2, 3, 4. You guys see what's going on here? And, well, let's set this up here. Might as well, well, I'm not going to, let me just copy that. If you guys don't want to watch me do CS, I'll just throw a little, I got one little meteor quarry on there, just so you can check it out on mobile. Alright, what do we got? Well, this is our container, our main wrap with 100% viewport, height auto. We're flexing it, content, we're justifying the content in the center, the items in the center, little margin on the bottom, and normally this is on the bottom. Let me take a look here, let me show you here. Yeah, so we're also going to throw margin on the top, just so it won't look crazy. So we might as well just do this for now. We'll go, put a 0 on here. Alright, so we got none on the sides. Okay, now we get the container. That's going to be 100% of this. That's the whole container, height auto, flex, same damn thing. So technically I don't need any of that because we're going to do it here, but that's alright. So if you want, you don't need any of this. It's not going to hurt if it's there. Okay, we got a background. The box is 90% of this. And then, and just little meteor quarry. So hopefully that all makes sense. That's just flexing it all, putting it in the center, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so now we got that. So I think that is it. And then I'm going to show you a couple little tricks. So, we got it. So what do we want to do? We want to use it. Where's it going? It's going in events. What are we going to do? Well, let's put it under the hero for now. Event slider. If it doesn't automatically import it, if you tap it over, it should import it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's go check it out. And yeah, well, on the calendar, let's see. Okay, we got it there. Looking crazy. Well, I can tell you one thing right now. Let's go back. Let me grab this background color because this will drive you crazy. Copy that background color. I'm going to come over to the layout CSS and I'm going to throw it on here because the whole damn site has that background color, so we might as well do it just so it doesn't look crazy. Okay, so we got that in there. Now your arrows are going to be way over here and tiny, and I'm going to show you why right now. I've already gone in here because I use React Slick and I use the same version non-stop. Inside your node modules, you want to slide down until you find Slick Carousel, which is down here. And I know everyone tells you not to mess around in here, but that's total bullshit because if you break something, all you got to do is uninstall it and reinstall it. Now you could, to be fair, I mean, I could go look it up, but I'm pretty sure the arrows are going to be dot previous, dot forward. I'm not sure how to do it, but you can certainly find out what they're using as far as their class names on for these different things, as far as the arrows, box, stuff like that in the CSS, and you can come and style it right in here. But if you're in here looking for it already, as far as I'm concerned, Jesus Christ, what did I do here? When you find Slick, which I will sooner or later, I promise. Here it is, Slick Carousel. You go in, and then just like it says here, just tell me where it is. Slick Carousel, Slick CSS theme. So, what do? Slick Carousel, Slick. You have theme CSS. That looks like what we want, and I can already know what I've already done, so I'll just show you. And yeah, so it is Slick Pre. So if you wanted to, you could style these inside your component with this. I didn't. I'm trying to remember what I changed there. Okay, here under Slick Next Before Previous, I believe this starts as a 20 normally, and normally I just comment it out and do it underneath it, so I know what I changed it from. But I do remember that font size that will make your arrows bigger. Then as we come down, here we go. I did comment them out. Okay, yours is going to say left minus 25. Well, you're going to put it 10 pixels. All you're doing is moving around. You're going to give it a Z index 10, so it goes up on top of the image, on top of the slider. Under here, you're going to comment that one out, and you're going to add right 10 auto. under slick.next, you're going to comment out that minus 25, and you're going to put it right 28 or wherever the hell you want it. You'll see it moving around. I mean, I like where I put it. If you don't, feel free to do it. Yeah, here's your dots if you use dots. And like I say when I'm saying, if you use dots, if we go back to the slider, up here, there is something you can put in dots, true. So, let's go take a look at what we got here. Okay, so that's this, and it's working. You can slide it, you can do auto scrolls, you can grab and throw it, so that means it'll work on with your fingers on mobile. A couple other things I'm going to show you while you're here. If you go check out the the docs for React Slick Carousel, there's a lot of stuff you can do that I think are really cool. A couple I know off the top of my head. They have one called what the hell's it called? Slides to show. And you got to camel case it. And you can do, like right now, it's the default is 1, so we could do 2. Right? And I'm sure you guys can imagine what's going to happen here. Well, now you got 2 slides. And it's skipping, and it's only going 1. It's going 1 over. I mean, and technically, well, depends how many slides you have. I mean, you could make that 4. Just to show you guys what's going on here. I mean, you could do it like that. I mean, it's stuff, but now you're going to have to move your arrows, which I showed you where to move them, but I guess I'm going with 1. Maybe you want to go to 2. Just trying to think. Well, this one's pretty cool too. Slides to scroll. So let's just say if you did have 2 slides to show, you could do 2. So instead of going over 1, it goes over 2. So that would be kind of something like this. Before it was just moving 1, so this would move here. Here, well, you can guess it's going to move 2. The next 2. So it's, skipping around. But, I mean, that's really it for that. So, I mean, I always advise, why reinvent the wheel? I mean, it's not too hard to make your own slider, but why do it? When there's one out here where all you got to do is drop in a component, add your images, and pick whatever props you want, whatever settings you want. And, like I say, you can go to documentation, pick out, there's a gazillion different things you can do. To me, this is all I really need. I don't even need slide to scroll. I don't need it because I'm only going to have one big one, and that is default. So I'll get rid of that. Just trying to show you a couple of things to do. I got to go shovel. Got about 12 inches of snow. So there we go. That part is done. If I can get back later today, I would like to come back and get this section done here. Which is what's not done, so why am I looking? I'm all over the place. Hit that. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, here's the one that's finished. Just so we can get in here and do this. It'll probably take about 20 minutes. I don't have time right now, but anyway, we'll come back and do that. But anyway, guys, hopefully, learn a little something here. And as far as, like I say, I know I've said it before in a couple of these. Don't worry. When you watch these guys telling you how to code, man, and they're saying, don't have all these dependencies and stuff. This is Gatsby. This is a static site generator. It doesn't matter what we have over here. Like I said, we've already put in GSAP, React Slick, all the different libraries, animation libraries, etc. It's not going to slow the site down at all. If you post this up on Netlify, and you go through, well, you're going to want to go use Gatsby image here. Maybe I'll come back and do that later. Just to optimize your images, you're going to get 99s and 100s on all this stuff. SEO, accessibility, best practices, performance is going to be shit 95 to 100, no matter what you have over here. So don't worry about stuff like that. And that's it. Take it easy, guys. Catch you on the other side.